What begins as a regional fight almost never stays that way. In the 21st century, war doesn't just spread, it evolves. It pulls in global powers who see an opportunity in the chaos. And what we're witnessing right now is the reality of this new, borderless era of conflict. When you see the first strikes, the naval ships moving into position in the Middle East, it might all look like a picture we've seen before. But the most important question we have to ask ourselves isn't about what's happening right in front of us. We have to look past the obvious. Because what's actually taking shape is a war fought through proxies, through complex systems, and across global networks. This is a shadow war, where the lines are blurry and conflicts that seem totally separate are actually starting to connect. This isn't a conventional war, with two armies facing off on a battlefield. No, this is something else entirely. A new kind of war, one that's defined by indirect hits and a strategy of pure exhaustion. You see, this is what conflict between major powers looks like now. It's deniable, it's constant, and it's fought in every single domain except for direct head-to-head military confrontation. It's a war of attrition, fought not with tanks, but with supply chains, with intelligence, and ultimately with political will. At the very center of all this is Iran's core strategy. Now, they know they can't beat the United States in a conventional fight. It's not even a question. So they don't try. Instead, their goal is something completely different. It's a classic asymmetrical tactic: victory, denial. This one sentence, this is the bedrock of their entire plan. The goal isn't to win on the battlefield. The goal is to make the war so expensive, so long, and so politically damaging that America eventually just decides to leave. If you can outlast American patience, you win, simply by not losing. And this strategy is carried out in very deliberate steps. First, you hit high-value targets, things like a sophisticated THAAD missile defense radar, to make sure your own attacks have a better chance of getting through. Second, you inflict casualties. Why? Because every American life lost puts immense political pressure on leaders back home. That pressure wears down public support, and eventually it forces a withdrawal. It's a playbook that has proven effective in the past. But here's the thing. Iran is not doing this alone. The kind of precision needed for these attacks, well, that points to outside help. And the most important partner here is the Russian intelligence axis. And this isn't just theory. Russia is giving Iran the critical intelligence it needs to turn relatively simple missiles into precision weapons. We're talking about real-time satellite imagery, intercepts of U.S. communications, and probably even technical advisors on the ground helping to put it all together. Russia is, for all intents and purposes, providing the targeting solution. So, why are they doing this? Russia's motive is brutally simple. Every American dollar, every piece of military hardware, and every minute of political focus spent on Iran is one that's not being spent to help Ukraine. For the tiny cost of sharing some intelligence, Russia can bog down its main adversary in a draining, unwinnable conflict thousands of miles away. Now, the second global power in this whole equation, China, plays a very different game. Its role is much quieter, much more subtle, but it's every bit as important. This is economic warfare, and it's brilliantly disguised as ordinary trade policy. Think about it this way. Where Russia provides the immediate, tactical data to help Iran sharpen its spear, China works to slowly degrade America's shield over the long run. It does this by using its dominance over critical global supply chains as a weapon. Let's take gallium, for example. It's a material that is absolutely essential for the advanced semiconductors inside U.S. radar systems. And China controls almost the entire world's supply. By just putting export limits on it, it can slow down America's ability to build and replace its most advanced military hardware. This isn't just about one radar system. It's a systemic chokehold on the entire U.S. defense industry, all done without firing a single bullet. And this is where you really start to see how interconnected the shadow war is, when you follow the flow of weapons and knowledge. What happens in Ukraine definitely does not stay in Ukraine. These conflicts are now operationally linked. It creates this really bizarre, almost unbelievable strategic triangle. Just follow it for a second. Russia uses drones made in Iran to attack Ukraine. Ukraine, fighting for its life, becomes the world's leading expert in how to shoot down those specific drones. It then shares that harder knowledge with the U.S. military. And the U.S. then uses that exact same intelligence to help fight Iranian proxies in the Middle East. The weapons flow one way, and the expertise flows right back the other. So this convergence, this tangle of different battlefields and players, it isn't just about a single war. It is a live test of the entire American-led international system. And that pressure is starting to cause cracks in long-standing American alliances. Regional partners are getting nervous, fearing they'll become the chessboard in a great power game. So they're hedging their bets. They're starting to restrict U.S. access to their military bases and quietly opening up talks with Iran, trying to lower the temperature. They know that while America's attention can shift, their neighbors are permanent. And this all sets up a classic strategic trap. The United States military, as powerful as it is, cannot be everywhere at once. And so, committing massive force to the Middle East opens up a window of opportunity for adversaries in other places, whether that's in Eastern Europe or the Pacific. America's rivals know this, and they are coordinating to stretch its power to the breaking point. The stakes, then, are far greater than any one country or any one region. If American power can be successfully bogged down and outlasted here, it sends a message to the entire world. This isn't just a test of military strength. It's a fundamental challenge to American will, to its network of alliances, and to the credibility of its power. And the outcome is being determined right now, in the shadows of this new war, a war that will shape the world for years to come.